Hello and welcome to Adventures in Happiness. This is episode 9. My name is Vanessa Kinsey, also known as the Mad Chatter. I am passionate about authenticity, simplicity, and connection. My philosophy is based on taking radical responsibility for your own happiness, and this is my show where I introduce you to people who are doing just that. Now, today, here with me, I have somebody that I have wanted to introduce to the world for so long, and I don't think I've ever met anyone who takes such radical responsibility for their own happiness. Here with us today is the beautiful, talented Kara Walker. Hi, Kara.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so thank you so much for being here with us today. I know it's a really big day for you, right? What's going on over at your house today?
Well, we're hosting a very large Halloween party for about 50, 75 people and whoever wanders off the street.
So I really thank you for agreeing to do this with me when this is like such a big day. And we're going to get into talking about what Halloween means to you and what is going on over there. I do want to just say, because I know there's somebody here watching with us live, I want to say that if you come on and watch with us live, you have to tell me, you have to say hello and say who you are. Otherwise, I don't know who is here watching with us. So make sure you say your name and say hello to Kara and I, and I will say hello back to you, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so first of all, let's get into what we're wearing. All right, because of you, this is the second time in my adult life, the first time of which was 25 years ago, that I dressed up for Halloween, but you've totally rubbed off on me from afar. So let's talk about what you're wearing, because I couldn't do this interview without bringing my A game, because I knew you were going to knock it out of the park. So let's talk about it.
Well, actually, normally I don't have an awesome costume because I'm so busy working on my decorations that's like last minute, and I just throw a bunch of junk on from my closet and I really don't look awesome. But this year I planned ahead and I actually have an awesome costume, so I'm pretty proud of myself.
Okay, so let's check out the wig. Let us see this. I mean, oh my God. Oh my God. So that's like wig in the back too, that's all?
Yes. I ordered this a couple years ago from a wig shop that does like theater production out of San Francisco. And so it came all perfect, and then my son wrecked it. So I'm trying to fix it today. So now it looks like a spider sack.
Yes, but when you brought that, when you showed, I think that's the wig that you sent me a picture of, right? That you didn't look like that. You made it look like that.
Well, I tried to fix it. It was a mess this morning, so I just tried to like pin it back up and shove it around, put some flowers in it, throw some spiders.
Yeah, you did the spiders, and you did the flower.
I added the flowers to kind of hide some of the spots where I had to twist the hair up, to cover the ugly spots.
Okay, what about let me see your eyeliner, because you did amazing eyeliner. That is a spider web. Can you guys see that? That is like so cool. Wait, let me show you by yourself so it's a bigger picture.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I just love that. Pull your hair back a little bit so we can see it. Oh my God. That is just so bananas you're so good at everything. Oh, and your dress. Let's show
the dress. Yes. I have this made from a girl off Etsy. She did a great job. It's like a transparent mesh spiderweb material, and I don't think I can get back any further.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But it's super cute. She did such a good job. I love it. They're like these really cool. It's a 1950s house coat style. So it has a real vintage flair with these big sleeves on it, spider buttons, and it's all transparent spider web. So I've got vintage undergarments underneath it so that I can show off the skin. Can you see right there?
That is so beautiful. I love that. So, I call you the Queen of Halloween because I've never seen anyone as remarkable as you at Halloween. But you also do, and when I started seeing your artwork, I couldn't even believe it. Like I was like speechless. And I think what's so funny about you, and I have some things I want to show, but what cracks me up about you is like one day I'll see you'll post, and your Instagram is fascinating to me, just so completely fascinating. And there's a link to that, or I'll link it up. But the kind of stuff that you do, and I guess this is kind of, you tell me, but like the painting, like the ceiling that you did, the ceiling, when, can you see that picture?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about this, because, and what do you call, there's a name for that, but I don't know how to pronounce it, right? It's like that.
Well, there's different, like, the trompe l'oeil is European. It means to fool the eye. So this is all hand painted, and all those stars are gold leafed. And this was on a groin ceiling that was going down into an underground wine cellar for a house in Santa Barbara.
So the walls on that, is it like square, or is there?
No, it's a groin ceiling, so they all arch into points.
Oh,
so
okay.
When you see them come together, that's where all the angles, so the side walls are round and they all angle over.
So one day I'll see you doing something like that, or you're posting something like that, and then the next day I see you'll have it blows me away. You'll be doing a birthday cake, and you don't just make like a normal birthday cake. You make like that's all cake.
It's all cake. There's a piece of wood, like a metal structure inside for support, but yeah, you could eat all of it, even his head.
And where do you even get the ideas for that? Does that just come from like your own imagination, or?
Well, I tried to get into the cake industry and then quickly learned people are not willing to pay what it takes for cakes. That cake took so many hours that I stopped trying to do it as a business. And so now I just do it for like my own parties and for my family. But that idea, so I got really involved, YouTube and different subscriptions on how to do cakes. And so that's kind of where I learned techniques and different styles.
And so now I'm showing the cake that you made for your grandmother's birthday,
yes.
right?
Yes.
And
that went into a cooler and was in the back of my car for 2 days, and I drove 600 miles, and the cake still came out fine.
Wow. Wow. I mean, and I think that's what's so like, to me, what amazes me about you is the things that I see that you do, I've never seen anywhere else, and not especially like the level and the way that you do things. It's so incredible. So I'll see you one day, you're painting, and then the next day you put these pictures up of like the most incredible cake I've ever seen. Oh, then I see you, then you're painting. Then
yes, I love dog portraits. They're so fun. And they're quick. I'm so used to such dramatic, long projects. I can do a dog painting in like an hour and a half. It's like instant happiness.
So that dog painting took you an hour and a half?
Yeah.
And, oh my God.
You just need the right music and a glass of wine. It's a good time.
Music is everything, isn't it? Okay, then the next day, the next day I see you doing something. This next thing I'm going to show, and I don't think this is the exact tree that I saw you doing, but
right, that was my inspiration for it though.
Oh, okay. So you didn't do this one.
I did not do that one. But
okay.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. Like this lady, tell us about the lady that hired you to do the tree in her house, because
this is one of my longtime clients I've worked for years. She lives in Santa Barbara, but has a vacation home in Lake Arrowhead. And yeah, she's like, I want a tree. After seeing the spooky tree I made for my Halloween decoration, she loved it and thought, well, could you make a tree without a face for inside my house? And it was up in like a little sitting area with a little mini fireplace next to it, and it was so cute. And I'm like, sure, I've never done it before, but I'm sure I could figure it out. And so I ordered a bunch of foam coat, and that was the first time I'd ever used foam coat. Was on the job. I'd never done it before. I watched a YouTube video, and I went up there, and I left my family for 8 days and left with a tree.
I remember watching you do that, the whole process. You were posting pictures every day. It seemed like you worked like round the clock.
Yeah, when I work out of town, I work like 12-hour days because I want to get home.
Right. And you have 2 boys. How old are your boys?
7 and 8.
Okay, so and how many months apart are they?
15 months.
Okay, so we're so similar because I have two boys. My boys are a little bit older than yours. My boys are 18 months apart. They're now 11 and 13. So we have that in common. And I remembered that when I see you going up there or when you were leaving and how hard that is to be away from your kids. And I remember that. And I knew like here you are, you go up there, you do this, you're doing this thing, which was like giving me anxiety because I know you're going to Lake Arrowhead, which has no Home Depot. They don't even have there that you don't have everything with you.
Well, they do have one home improvement like place where I can get some basic stuff, but I can't get custom stuff. So I definitely have to plan ahead, take things up, have it shipped to the house what I need. And I had actually worked at that same job 7 years prior when I was 9 months pregnant with Jet. I showed up. She says, "You didn't tell me you were pregnant." I swear I told her. She's just not remembering. So I show up to a job site, 9 months pregnant. I was huge. Everyone freaked out. Like, "You can't be here. You can't do this." I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm working. It's no big deal." So I convinced them to let me stay. And they were all worried I was going to kill myself. And I think I worked 17 days straight. I was on 2-story scaffolding, plastering turret ceilings, and I got it done. And then I came home and I had my son like 10 days later. And then I made enough money that I got to stay home for 3 months. But the people at Home Depot, not Home Depot, but the store, still talk about me like, "Here's this pregnant girl in the mountains just walking in here getting lumber and things." They couldn't believe it.
Okay, this is a good time to bring up, and I got because I got to know. I thought was so fascinating about you. Like side note is that you only have 3 pairs of shoes.
Yeah, right? If I'm lucky, and that's pushing it. I really only wear one, and that's a pair of like year-old flip-flops that are covered in plaster, whatever paint I was using that week, and they're falling apart. And then my other shoes are shoes I don't wear because they're like real shoes, they're girl shoes, and that's too much effort.
When you were up doing this house, were you wearing those flip-flops like on a piece?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I figured that was you. That like, and you are a working artist, and you have been let's talk about that because you have been a working artist. I'm fascinated by this story that you knew to take such responsibility for yourself at such a young age, as far as like doing what makes you happy.
Right. Well, yeah, I did what I was supposed to do. I went to college for 2 years for graphic design and realized I will never be happy just sitting in front of a computer. It's not who I am. I can't do it. And so that's when I discovered transferring my paint abilities from canvases to walls. And then I got such a good response that everyone was wanting me to do their house that I thought, oh, well, this might be a thing. So I told my mom, because I was only 19 at the time, "Hey, let me turn this into a business. If it doesn't work, I can always go back to college." Well, I went straight into full time instantly, and I've been self-employed ever since I was 19.
Yeah, I love that you had that belief in yourself to do that at such a young age. I mean, when I was 19, I didn't even know like what, I had no clue. I finally feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing this. And I got my aunt is also an artist, and she's putting up a comment to us. Hocus Pocus, you're rocking it. And you girls look great. I knew people were going to go crazy. Like, I know nobody was going to expect this, like totally from me to do that. You also just recently, I love this about you because you're so diverse in what you're doing. You went and I was wishing we were closer because you went and did eyebrows.
I did. I tried to, it's still my workout. Try get into microblading because I have a very steady hand and it's easier on my body versus some of my artwork is just so demanding and so messy that I thought that could be something that could be a longer term thing. But the area I'm in is just kind of sketchy for high-end work. Yeah. So it still might work out, but I'm just not really, I don't know. We'll see what happens with it.
Well, I was at the same time you were doing that. I had for the last year been working up the courage because my eyebrows I don't wear a lot of makeup, but my eyebrows were one of the things that drove me more bananas about my makeup. Every single day I was like stressing out about my eyebrows and getting them like even and everything, that I finally decided, and it took me a year to go and do microblading. And I researched the girl like upside down, but you were doing it at the same time. And I was like, this other girl has been doing it for many, many years, but I would completely trust you because this is how amazing you are. And I know your standards are so high. I would have completely trusted you to do my microblading. That's how amazing you are. You do tattoos, or you draw. You don't do the tattoos, but you draw.
No, I don't, but I would love to learn though. That would be so fun.
Because I saw you draw, like you did a drawing for someone's tattoo before, right?
Yeah, I did actually a trade with Eric Jones, Port City Tattoo. And I did some antique mirrors for an art installation he was going to be doing, and we traded out. I dropped off the mirrors, and he gave me a tattoo. It was a perfect trade.
So when you say antique mirrors, what does that mean?
So I'll take a special kind of mirror, which is like mirrors made in China, because the coating's not real great, and I put a chemical on the back, and it strips off like the barrier that protects like the mirror glazing, so that's revealed. And then I can lay down sticky stencils on top of it to protect some of the mirror glazing. And then I put another chemical that removes some of it. And so I can inlay designs and gold leaf or do whatever color I want into the mirror. And it's all done from the backside. So then you can wash it and you can make it look old, where it gets like the mold spots in the mirror where it gets all gray.
Yeah, so just like the way the mirror itself looks. I've never seen any pictures of you doing any of that. I've never noticed that on your Instagram. I know
oh yeah, I don't have it on my Instagram.
Your Instagram, I was like going bananas about I don't even know like if you had it since I knew you, but I knew like once I got hooked up with your Instagram, I was going crazy, and I couldn't find the picture the other day. But like, you do these paintings, like you're just like the garage door. You did a garage door. I could not find the picture of it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the stenciled garage door.
It was just, so you just take like a regular garage door and you make it look like this. How long did that garage door take you? I'm just curious.
Well, I had a helper because that was on a big project. So he had a crew of guys. So he sent one of them to work with me that he always pairs up with me when I do his jobs. And so I just told him what to do and this is what color. And we just worked across the board.
How long did that take?
Too long. A couple days. Yeah.
Okay. So it was just total luck and a coincidence, a very great coincidence on my part, that when I asked you to do this and I asked you the date, you said, oh yeah, I can totally do it on today, the 27th, which was the date of your big Halloween party. And I don't think, like, we've got to get into talking about this. I've never seen anybody so amazing at Halloween, and how hard you have, like, this is your life, basically.
Yeah.
So tell us about this year's Halloween project and when you started working on your house.
Well, I knew last year that I wanted to expand and get bigger, and thought it would be awesome to have like a haunted Halloween facade, not like a haunted house that looks like it's broken down, but just something that's like really whimsical and like fantasy style. And so I had the idea, and then I was strolling through Pinterest like everyone does in like February, and I saw a door that had a spider web pattern on the window. And that just like turned on the idea factory. And I was like, yes, I'm going to do this. And then I started with the door. I got a big sheet of foam and just started carving. That's where I taught myself to wood grain foam, taught myself how to router it. And so I started with that door, and then I just started working outward, and then I worked up.
So it started from your door.
Yeah.
In March.
Yes. Yeah. But then it sat there for months though. Because I was working, so I did it on the weekend. So I carved it, and then without having a full plan, I kind of had to just let it sit there for a while until it was the right time to keep going.
But like, it's in your shop. It's not attached to your house, right?
Well, the platform, the rigging behind to hold up the facade is attached to the roof of the house so that it cannot, it's 24 feet tall. That's it still in progress, but there's a cap that goes on top of that. And so from the ground to the top of the cap is 24 feet.
Yeah, let's talk about the cap because I have a picture of that. I don't know what happened to my picture of your spider web door because that was what was really that was just like so crazy. So here's the cap.
Yeah. So when I started this, I knew I wanted two things. I wanted the spider web door, and I've always liked dormer windows. That's what those windows are. They're called dormers. And I thought, well, if I build a haunted house, then I can build a dormer window. It's the perfect excuse to do it. And yeah, and then I thought, oh, it'd be cute to have an arched cat on top. And then I like the look of moss. I think it gives things a lot of life that it doesn't have without it. So I always put these touches of green on things now to kind of make them kind of more whimsical.
Yeah, there's so much and you're going to take us on a little tour outside. So we're going to get to actually see what your house is and all the different things that you do, like the gate, and you have made all of this stuff yourself.
I did. Everything's carved out of foam, hard coated, painted. Nothing store bought.
When you have these ideas and you say whatever you say to your husband,
I don't say, I just do, and he accepts it.
Because how long has your house is like a construction zone.
It looks pretty good right now since we're cleaning up my mess. It's looking more like a home and not a fun factory.
But this has been like for months and months and months. Does anyone ever say to you, because this is what I get. Some people, I'll say, hey, I want to do this. And I'm not an artist. Like nowhere near like we're going to build something. That's not what I do. I have these grand ideas. And someone will say to me, you can't, there's no way you're not going to be able to do that. Do people say that to you about like, look, I want to build this thing and I want to put this thing on top of my house? And does anyone tell you you can't do that?
No, everyone knows I can do it. It's just whether I should do it or not is another question.
and how it's gonna getting that was my question to you, and we're gonna get to see this when we go outside. But I wanted to know how you got that cap up onto the top of your house because that was
right. Yeah, I didn't know how I was gonna get it up there, but my dad's a builder and we have the can-do attitude. So I built it and then we'll figure it out later.
And you did it.
We did. Yes. He showed up with 14-foot long 2x4s. We screwed it into the eaves of the house. We set the cap on it and we slid it up just like a ramp. And then it's all made out of foam, so it's lightweight. So then we're on the roof carrying this cap around to the right place, reposition the boards on the edge of the tower, set it on, slid it on, and then it just popped right on just like a little hat box. And then we screwed it all in from inside and voila, it was up.
So when you say lightweight, like the cap of the house, it's light enough where you can pick it up.
Two people can carry it, pick it up and move it.
Yeah, because obviously,
and it's a 7-foot square, so it's 7 feet by 5 feet tall. So it's large, yeah, and it just takes two people to pick it up.
Because if that was made out of wood, obviously, that's like a structure would be like a structural piece of your house. You wouldn't be able to pick it up. That's what's so
right. It does have one piece of wood on the inside that it's built around, so that I had wood to screw into to attach it to the walls. So it does have a little bit of wood, but 99% of it's all foam.
Okay, so when you say foam, because this is hilarious. Okay, so if you live anywhere up in Central California and you see this car driving around with foam on the top of it, I gotta put that on.
I love that picture. It's like the two things I love in life.
So that's you. And is that the foam? Like that's the kind of foam?
Yes, that is some foam. Yeah, that's white insulation foam you can get from Home Depot.
So is that the kind of foam that stuff that the cap thing is made out of?
The cap is made out of the white insulation foam. Yeah. because it's easy to carve and it's very lightweight. So yeah, it's a insulation material for your house.
And you told me yesterday that you were still, because I said to you, is there like an end point? Like, are you finished with your Halloween house?
No, no.
And you told me that you had something still, I mean, you probably have a lot of things that you still want to do, but you said you were carving something. Did you mean those? No, you can't be the things on the roof. What are you still carving?
Yeah, so when we go outside, I'll show you, but I still have to carve the roof and the porch roof on the haunted house facade. It's still just flat panels of foam. I haven't had time to carve the shingle shape into it so that it matches the cap. So when Halloween's over, I'll pull those down and finish sculpting those and finish it up. And then I'll put it back up and decorate it for Christmas.
And we are going to get back to that because what you told me about, we're going to get back to that, but I want to show you a few of the other things that just around your house that you have been doing. I think, tell me about this. Is this the first year that you did this particular?
Yes. So I found a new product. This is called Easy Carve by Polygem. It's my new favorite material. I just ordered 4 gallons of this stuff. It's magical. So it's like a 2-part epoxy and you mix it together like a clay, but it's very lightweight, almost like marshmallow fluff. And then you can mold it and shape it with water and sculpt it, and it dries hard, lightweight, and then you paint it.
Wow. So that lights up, right?
Yes, yes, that is a poison apple light, and yeah, so it's on a glass light I just got from Lowe's, and then I just added some foam to the top to give it the apple shape that you're not really seeing with the stem, and then molded the drippy face on it and painted it, and yeah, I love that light.
And then there was these things that I went bananas for.
Yes, Diver Dan. That was my very first tombstone I made. June of last summer, I started with Diver Dan, and he actually lights up. He's hardwired, so the inside of his mask lights up.
Wow.
And then he turned out so great, and he's huge. He's like over 5 feet tall. Like, I make everything life size, if not bigger. I don't do anything tiny. I like things to scale. And then he needed a girlfriend. And then I wanted to do something mermaid inspired without actually being a mermaid. So on her tombstone, it's fish scaled with a fin on top and just like mermaid elements without being a literal mermaid.
Yeah, that was that was just so beautiful. When I saw you doing that last year, I love that because your stuff is it's so unique and it's so different and you're so creative in the things that you come up with when you make things. And then there's this tree. I guess this was the inspiration for the lady wanting to.
Okay, that's him getting a makeover. So that was last summer. I was carving him down and trying to smooth him out a little bit, and then I recoated him.
Wow.
And he got a nose job because his nose looked like a cow pie last time, so it was just spray foam expanded. So then once I, learned more about foam carving, I chopped it off and put a piece of the hard foam that I can carve into like the tree stump pattern.
Okay, so not just that. You don't just do that. You got this whole thing going on at your house. How long has this taken you? Your entire house? How long has it been?
You mean all the decorations, or what do you mean?
Like time-wise, how long have you been working on it to put this whole thing together for your big party and for Halloween?
For the decorations, like the foam props and the facade and everything, definitely months. Because work's been slow, so to keep myself kind of busy and happy, because if I'm not creating something, I just don't feel right. So I have to be making something, and I can tell that this is going to be another avenue of work because I have a lot of people contacting me about designing haunt facades for them for next year. So I think that this can definitely expand, and I would love to do that. Making Halloween props is like my favorite thing to do. Of everything that I have learned and that I know, this is my favorite.
So let me just show you, because this blew me away the other night when I saw you do this. I'm like speechless about this. What's the story behind these?
Well, they're cookies. Yeah, they're my nephew Watson over in New Jersey, I used to, when I super get into things and I get crazy with it. So there was the cookie period where all I did was cookies and I spent so much time on it. And my husband was like, for how much time you spent making a cookie, you could actually make something. And then it switched over to cakes, and now it's switched over to foam.
So you started with the cookies and then it went to the cakes. That's how it all.
Yeah, it started with cookies, then it went to cake, and now it's foam. And now I'm going back to cookies because I guess I haven't been sending enough cookies to my nephew. And so he spoke up. He's like, Auntie, I haven't gotten cookies in a while.
I couldn't believe that you, because I know how busy you've been. I know that you've been getting ready for this. I see your Instagram. You're working around the clock. And then just every morning it's like a surprise because I never know what you're going to post. And then you post these pictures that your nephew wanted cookies, and it's somehow you had time to like throw together cookies. Like even the kind of cookies I would make would be like the kind that come in the roll and you.
Oh, those are great. They're so easy.
I can't have that cookie dough in my house, by the way. I just eat it by the thing. Okay, so I was curious about if you were like this about other holidays.
No. Well, Halloween's my number one. Since I'm going to be using the facade for Christmas, that'll be more of a decoration outside. I do have some stuff in the house. We're definitely down to limit on storage at this point with all my Halloween stuff. So it's like, if I could go totally crazy with every holiday, I totally would. Why not? Life is so much funner.
Since the first time I ever saw your stuff, that was my question, was where do you keep all this? Where do you keep all this stuff?
I bought in March. I went and I bought myself a birthday present, like every girl wants, is a 10 by 20 foot carport from Costco. So that's what I got. A giant covered carport. And so that's my foam studio right now. I've got my hot wire table set up. It's full of foam and I carve in there. And then in theory, when all this is taken down, all the walls break down into flat panels. It should all technically, probably not, but I hope it will all fit inside this tent.
Wow. Yeah, and that's another thing to mention. And we're gonna get, when we go outside, we'll get to see your house. But you like live in just like a normal regular house, but your house is not.
Oh yeah, our house is like 1958 home, old neighborhood. We're just normal.
I love what you said about what you were gonna do for Thanksgiving. Tell us a little bit about that, how you were gonna transition.
Right. So as I was working out front, some of the neighbors from down the street came up and were telling me, oh, you're doing such a good job. I'd hate for you to take it down in 2 weeks. You should leave it up for Christmas. And I was like, huh, really? And then I had 4 more neighbors that same day say that. I'm like, oh, well, if you're all okay with this, great, because I don't want to tear this thing down. It's not even finished yet. So that way it gives me more time to carve the shingles. So it'll look great by December. And then I had a friend stop by last night. She's like, you know what? You should rent out your porch for family photos.
Oh, totally.
And I was just like, wait, what do you mean? They're like, yeah, instead of like going and standing on a bridge with your family and your matching shirts, they can all come stand on your porch all decorated. It'd be such a great photo. I'm like, that is a really good idea. So I just might do that.
Yeah, because you had told me, you said, what about the pumpkin? Like you already know how to transition it into being.
Right. So after Halloween, we'll take all of the Halloween elements out. And then we'll move all my giant pumpkins I made. The pumpkins are huge. They're like 36 inches around. They're massive. We'll move them all to the front by the porch. And then up in the tower where we project, I have a projection that shows leaves blowing. And then a script writes Happy Holidays or Happy Thanksgiving or something. So there's a way I can transition to fall and then switch it over to Christmas.
I love that. And I love that your neighbors like it. Like it looks so beautiful. Your neighbors want it to keep it, because I have some neighbors right next door to me that are like the Griswolds, but not in a good way. So their decorations, as soon as like they start putting up their decorations, I'm like, oh my God, it's holiday time again. They decorate for every holiday, and it's not your side. It's not like the way you do it. It's like, so anyways, I love that your neighbors are like, and it's probably people you're like on a tour, right? People are coming by and
yes, last night we were just outside doing a lighting check before the party, figuring out where things would be best lit, and we had to move the fog machine because the kids kept messing with it, so we stuck it inside of the spooky tree so all the fog comes out the face.
Oh, wow.
So, which is really cool because it's like a constant drip of fog. And so we're going to put a green light bulb inside so that his face will light up. And we had like probably 15 random people just show up in our driveway to talk to us while we were doing it. It was fun. That's how you meet your neighbors.
Yeah, it's like, I can imagine how fun it is on Halloween. My question for you was, do you hand out candy? Because you're...
I do, but I'm worried I don't have enough. So we'll see.
Yeah, because there's been some publicity about you for a couple years now, right? Like,
right. Yes. I was supposed to be, I was in the newspaper, a mention of me this year. The television crew didn't show up. Their loss, fine. It's like people kind of know who we are now. So I think it'll grow on its own. It's like, I don't need thousands of people because it's like, I can't afford that much candy, but
right.
But it'll be fun. I'm excited.
But your place, like, people know that they got to go by and see it. What's so neat is every year you had told me that you're adding layers to everything that you're doing every year. It's still the same kind, right? It's like a foundation, and then every year you add stuff to it.
You mean to the decorations?
Yeah, like to
right,
your
yes. Yes, so this year I made the haunted house, which is a really big thing. So I'm excited that next year that will already be done, so I won't be as stressed.
Yeah.
So, but now I'm realizing, okay, I need more tombstones. I want to learn animatronics this year to where I can sculpt special figures and have them move. I probably won't stop until my yard looks like Disneyland.
Yeah.
Or my husband divorces me. You know, either one can happen.
Yes, thank you, James, so much for putting up with this. Are you ever does it ever come all down and you have like a normal house?
Well, yeah, and it's very sad. Like my haunted house facade looks better than our actual house. It has a porch we've always wanted, and it has the terracotta shingle roof we've always wanted. I like it more than a real house. So it'll be very sad when it comes down.
I know you even built like hedges. We're going to see all this when we go outside. It is so crazy. And let's just mention, because I had read this about you, and this is where you remind me so much of my grandfather. I am from a family of artists. Everybody has an artistic ability except for me. And my grandpa, I read a story about you when you were a little girl. You made your backyard and I want you to tell us about this. And this is how my grandpa was. He actually had a full-size airplane that he was building in my grandparents' garage. But he always loved doing those kinds of things for us when I was little. Like, that was always his dream. He was the artist that had so many things going on, like at once, though. He had so many different projects. Nothing ever really got finished. I have some of his paintings that are finished, but that's about it. So tell us about when you were, how old were you when you were doing this in your backyard?
Oh, I was just a little kid. I remember being 8 years old, like in the garage, playing with my dad's power tools. Where my mother was, I don't know, but I was pretty crazy. I was building forts in the backyard, not out of like sheets and things, like regular kid stuff. I was using 2x4s, bricks, things that probably should have killed me. I did some crazy stuff. So my imagination was definitely there as a child. So it's funny that as an adult, I'm actually like realizing what I tried to do as a kid.
Yeah, like I read you were making like roller coasters.
Oh yeah, you make the ramp and then you put a skateboard on it. Oh yeah, we did all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah, your vision and the things that you were doing that's so remarkable and people were allowing you to do that at such a young age. Okay, so let's take a tour. Let's check it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go outside and see what's going on with your haunted house.
Okay, got it. There we go. Okay.
And those of you who are watching here with us live, I can't see you. I don't know who is here, but if you say hello to us and make a comment, I'll know you're here, and I will definitely thank you and say
okay, hello. Here we go. We can start with, here's the light I made for our front door. This is my
Oh.
Frankenstein light. And that was just made like just spur of the moment, like, oh, it'd be cool to make a light for the front door. He started out as like a pirate skeleton, and then I got inspired and turned him into Frankenstein.
Yeah, I love that you like if you see something you in your head, in your mind, that you can actually make it happen. That just blows me away.
Right. So here's our front door right here. So you come out and you hit a wall, and this is where it all starts right here.
Where's your door?
So this is our front door, and then you walk out and it begins.
Where's the spider web door?
This okay, so here we go to the front. Walking up to the porch. This is the hedging, because every haunted house needs landscaping.
That is so beautiful. You know what I love about that? You don't have to water it, right?
I know. Yes, it's pretty all the time. So here's what I started with, the front door.
Wow.
And then I designed the windows, which I love 1930s Art Nouveau. So then I designed this window shape. I wanted something very unique. And I saw this in some European photo and said, yes, perfect. So then I went to the windows, and then that inspired the railing, Art Nouveau lines, and then I added spiderweb elements into it. And I think they really pair well together.
So is there glass like in that window?
I was going to, but I decided not to do the plexiglass because I did buy it, but it's super expensive. And then I returned it, but I'm going to put like a thin, like a plastic, that stuff they used to put on your chairs, like in the 50s.
Oh yeah, like
your upholstery, a window covering out of that to protect the curtains, since I'm going to be leaving it up. So if it rains.
So like right now, if you just push your hand in there, that's just curtains.
Yeah, right now it's just the curtains. And then I got rope light going around the outside. And there's a liner of white foam in back so that it lights up the white foam and you don't see the craziness of what it looks like in back.
You're blowing people away. My friend Shelly is here. Hi, Shell. My friend Shelly is just like, this is so cool. I knew people were going to be, no one's ever seen anything as ridiculous as that, as what you
Here's the tower.
And so
I did not, sorry, go ahead.
What, that frontage that like, it looks like a frame there.
Yes.
What is that where you do your projection?
Yes. So this was specifically built so that I can use our projection system from Atmos Effects, and then it projects. We've got a bunch of different programs. We've got zombies doing thriller. We've got little ghosts flying by and witches casting spells. It's really fun. And we have it hooked to our Bluetooth speaker so that the sound is down by the street so everyone can hear it.
Wow. Okay. So yeah. So there's music that goes along with it. This is crazy.
Yes, yeah. It's not the same without the sound. And then we've got our giant pumpkins, because everything's about scale. With a house this big, you can't use regular sized pumpkins because they just look like polka dots. So yeah. I had to make pumpkins. Okay. Yeah, should we go to the front?
Yeah. My friend Shelly's saying she thought she was into Halloween, and you're like, that's what I'm saying. No one, that's why you're the queen of Halloween.
Okay, this is a tombstone. This is a tombstone I made. I love nautical things, so you can kind of see the theme. Diver Dan, the mermaid, and now this anchor. Gleason Kent is my grandpa, and he's the one that taught me to paint. So without him, none of this would have ever started.
I love that you honor your family members like that and your grandpa.
Oh, I bet he would love it to know that I turned into this. And yeah, I made him a tombstone with barnacles and all. I love the barnacles.
And all this stuff you store right on your premises when it's not Halloween.
Yeah, so this will all fit in the tent at the end of the year. So this is my tree. This tree actually got me hired 2 years ago by Mattel. They saw this tree and I made 2 of them for them. And I made some fencing and different things. And we worked really hard, loaded it up in a U-Haul, drove down to like Redondo Beach at like 8 o'clock at night in the rain. And we had to stuff these trees into utility elevators and we took him to the 13th floor and set him up in the CEO's like little office area. And when they came in the next day, they walked in and they had this big display.
And this is what you were talking about, the animatronics. If you could even believe that she's going to level it up, that you're going to level it up even from here. What your plan is to learn how to do the mechanics of having these things actually move and come to life.
Right.
That's mind-blowing.
Yes, because I would love to put some skeletons with really whimsical fizz sitting in trees and have their arms swing back and forth with lanterns. I saw a video that I can learn how to make a raven, that the arms flap up and down and the head moves, and I have to have that for next year.
Okay, so now you're showing us, tell us about these mushrooms, because that was really cool. I love it when I saw you building this. It's like, I need those. I need some mushrooms. Around.
No, this was for the production of Snow White for the local high school. So they contacted me after seeing me on the cover of the newspaper last year. And so they bought the material, and I donated 2 months of my life to build their set and because I wanted the experience. But I told them, though, that the mushrooms and the trees are mine. I want those back, but they have the cottage set and everything else. And then another giant pumpkin. This one's more whimsical with it kind of lopsided, because I like things not perfect. I don't like straight lines. I like everything to be kind of bent and wonky.
Okay, so we're kind of losing the connection, but what I want to do is I want to see if we can see, like, go in your driveway.
Okay.
I want to see if we can see like your whole house, because it is so hard to believe that this is just a regular house, but this is what it looks like because it's completely redone.
It looks so much better at night. But let's see if I can show you the front gate real quick.
Okay, yes, and you built this gate and fence that go in the front of your house. So that's what she's taking to show us right now. I was afraid we were going to lose the connection a little bit because you can't be hardwired in and move around, but this is she created all of that, right? The whole fence is made out of foam.
And the gate is actually the replica of the gate from Jack Skellington's The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Wow. Thank you so much for doing this with us today. First of all, I know you've got a lot. I woke up this morning. Here's a surprise of being surprised by you daily on Instagram or wherever I saw you post this morning, that you had been up. What were you doing last night, Kara?
I was making 100 cupcakes for all of my guests tonight.
So,
I cannot buy store-bought food. Like, I can't. It's just not in my nature. So I have to make them special the way I do it.
My friend Shelly wants to know, what happens when it rains? Like, are you panicked if it starts raining like tonight at your house?
Well, it's over 80 degrees right now, so I love it, especially since my dress is see-through and I'm going to be outside at night, so at least it'll be warm. One year it did rain and they were not waterproof and they were ruined. But now I know how to build everything with the right product. So everything's hard coated with exterior foam coat. So it can rain and it still looks brand new. We'll do nothing.
Wow. That is so mind-blowing. Well, thank you for doing this today. So you're making the cupcakes. I'm sure you have like a million other things to do. What are you doing today, actually?
I'm going to go right now in a full dress, and I'm going to go to Costco and blow everyone's mind.
Yeah, like everybody's going to want a selfie. Me, like I told you,
that would be hilarious.
I've never dressed up for Halloween before. I've got to thank the girls. I got to thank the village that made this happen for me. When I asked you to do this, I want to interview you. And then you told me it was your Halloween party. And I was like, we got to dress up. And then you showed me the wig. You showed me the wig and it didn't look like that. It just looked like, and it was so amazing. And I was like, I got to bring my A game to this interview. I can't just do my own makeup or whatever. And I called the other day in a panic. I actually thought, and then as it became closer, I was worried about my orange eyebrows. And I reached out to my cousin, Cassandra Negretti. Thank you, Cass, I called her in a panic a couple of days ago. and not even knowing that she is currently enrolled in beauty college. And she hooked me up with Alexandria Kakavas, who did this makeup this morning on me, and I just have to thank them for just hitting it out of the park. I completely trusted them. I told them I want to be, more glam. I don't want to look like the regular Mad Hatter, and I totally trusted them, and they did it. I need to thank my friend Lynn, who hooked me up with this great vintage jacket that's from Australia. She has the coolest stuff, and she, as soon as she heard that I was going to do this, she's like, I have the perfect thing for you, which is great because I was trying to go to like thrift stores and there's nothing like amazing there. And I know you can't really see it on camera, but the girls at the school this morning were going bananas about this. And so, like I said, I've never dressed up for Halloween. I was about 25 years ago. My friend made me she's also an artist. She made me dress up as Halloween as the Cowardly Lion, and I dressed up. But I don't dress up. But here's the thing. Because of you, I'm like addicted now. And I can't just take this off.
I think it's so fun.
No, I am going to wear this. I'm going to get as much mileage out of this as I can. So I fully intend to go to Trader Joe's looking like this today because
and then you'll get cocktails tonight with your husband.
Yeah, like I'm going to see Margie. I'm going to go see my grandma and blow her mind because no one that knows me this is not me, but it is now. I am officially the Mad Chatter now. I'm like taking on this persona. So that's it. I want to let everybody know. I had somebody asking me how do they place an order with you. So Kara, not only she coaches other artists on how to do this. I will put all her contact information. You can contact her via. She has a YouTube channel. What's your YouTube channel?
Kara Normal Props, like paranormal.
Oh,
like switch it to a K. Kara Normal.
Okay, well I'll link that in the notes so people can see you. They can hire you. I mean, anything they need.
Anything they can think of, I can make it happen.
Right. And you are in the process of building a course to help other people.
Yes.
Yes. Sort of thing too. So there are so many facets to you. I don't know when you're going to have time to do any of this. Do you sleep? Do you sleep, Kara?
Yes, I have to sleep or I turn into a real zombie. So okay. I do, but I have to like take stuff because my brain never stops. So yeah, it's difficult.
I'm the same way. That's the thing with me. And I told you this, like if I had the ability to, like you, because my brain never shuts off either, my creativity comes to me in a different way where it's more like things I want to talk about or, things I want to make happen. But I too, and that's what I love about you. We are so similar. I consider you part of my inner circle. We've never met before and we actually had not talked on the phone until a couple days ago for the first time. But this is what I love about the power of the internet, about the power of social media. You had actually reached out to me a couple years ago when I was in deep need. We were total strangers. I was in deep need of something. You didn't know me. You literally saved me. And it was huge. And I thank you so much for that. And what I learned at that time, because what I was so amazed about that was your openness and your willingness to trust me and provide me with what I needed. And you didn't even know me. And I had said to myself, I need to start being more like that. I need to start being a more open person. And that seems like to me how you are. You seem like you're just very open. You live a very fluid existence. You don't seem to me that you're filled with like a lot of worry about things. Is that true? Is that my perception true?
Yeah, I've learned not to worry, just to, everything always works out. Let the worry go. It doesn't help in any way. And you just got to keep going.
Yeah, you have a really positive way about you. And, I'm a completely different person than I was last year. And I'm just so grateful that because of social media, that people like you have come into my life. And so thank you very much. Thank you for being in my inner circle. I know that, what's so cool about this is that I just knew I could trust you. Like I knew you operate at such a high level. And that's what's so cool, I'm sure, for your clients, that they hire you to do these like really crazy, amazing things. And they can put their total, complete trust in you because they know that your bar is set so high.
Yes, my clients completely trust me. They ask me what I would do, and I kind of tell them what they want.
And then and then what you end up doing, like I'm sure is like a million times when it comes to fruition, is a million times better than you could have even imagined, which is so neat about what you do, is making it come together. All right, well, thank you. I'll let you get on to Costco, and I'll get on to Trader Joe's, and I want to see the selfies because people are going to want to take pictures of you. You look so very beautiful. And thank you so much for doing this with me today on this very big day for you. Thank you for trusting me.
Thank you.
I appreciate it so much. All right. Thanks. Thanks to you guys for watching here with us live too. Thank you.